What up, what up, what up, internet? Who you are, where you be, where you at, what you see. It is your favorite podcast, Pop Cult Parent, the podcast where friends no lie. And I'm one of your hosts, Mark F. Jones, and we are talking about the cultural phenomenon Stranger Things, specifically Stranger Things Season 4. But you know, I'm not doing this alone, and as always, I'm joined by...
This is Niels R.Y., a.k.a. We running up that road, we running up that hill, we running up that Oh, yes, man.
Yes.
Kate Bush running through people's head over and over again.
I'm so happy for her. I heard she's like clearing like $500,000 a week.
Yeah,
something
bro.
Like that.
She making good money. She owed the Duffer Brothers.
Good for her.
She owed them something, man.
And you know what the crazy thing about it is? That song is forever now stapled in pop culture. So like, it's not going to disappear. People are going to use it in their memes, in their videos. Other movies are going to use it now. Good for you, Kate Bush. But hey, if you're wondering why it's like classic mode Pop Cult Parent, only me and Nels are here, because Shannon, he didn't do his homework. Shannon has not seen. Brace yourself, Pop Cult. Shannon has not seen Stranger Things.
And we're not just talking about he hasn't caught up to Stranger Things Season 4. No, Pop Cult. Shannon Smith hasn't seen an episode of Stranger Things.
And we can't allow that. So in a very quiet, decent ceremony, we gave Shannon a watch and we told him never to come back. And so we'll be holding auditions for a Shannon replacement very short. Nah, come on, man. It'll take a lot for Shannon to leave this podcast. We love you, buddy. We're just playing with you, but do your homework next time, man. Come on.
And I think it would be helpful, Pop Cult. Like, I'm assuming, again, if you're a member of the Pop Cult, you've seen Stranger Things. But maybe like this could just be like we could take a couple seconds, MF Jones, Mark Jones, aka Clyde Jones, and just like really just say why Stranger Things is dope before we jump into like the coolness of Stranger Things Season 4.
Yeah.
So I can start. Like some of this is what we'll talk about, but like Stranger Things, if I was to sum up what Stranger Things is, it is definitely, a thriller, a horror, a mystery, a sci-fi superhero coming of age TV show rolled into one, but with like a Mike Tyson hook in your face of nostalgia, like repeatedly over and over again. You're just getting sucker punched with nostalgia every 10 seconds.
A Goku spirit bomb of nostalgia, and we're Majin Buu, and there's nothing we can do.
Yes.
And you're gonna take all this nostalgia, bruh. Like you hit the nail on the head. And you know what? That's the one thing I love about Stranger Things is like they're like, take this reference. Take this reference. Yeah, we're taking this from this movie. Do something about it. Do something about it, America. Like,
what you gonna do? What you gonna do? You're gonna watch it and you're gonna love it.
We blatantly made a guy look like the Terminator and have him do Terminator stuff in a whole season. Do something about it. And it was great. It was fantastic.
It was great. This is what you're missing, Shannon. What are you doing, Shannon? Why wouldn't you give yourself this pleasure? Anyways,
he's out there watching All American. Don't worry, we'll have an All American episode, Shannon. But you would think, with all the things that make Stranger Things great, and the kind of sophisticated audience that TV has nowadays, that the internet would rip it to shreds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? You like, oh, look at this. They're ripping off Nightmare on Elm Street. They're ripping off Stephen King. It's like because we hear it all the time. It's like, oh, movies or TV just coast on nostalgia. But I don't know the formula, but Stranger Things takes these nostalgic things, but they're like, no, this is just a tool. This nostalgic trope or story arc or character is a tool to tell this greater story. And I,
Why,
it's like,
why do you think it works, Mark? Can I throw an idea out there and tell me what you think? Because one, I do think these guys clearly, like the Duffer Brothers, clearly love this genre. This is like a love letter to the genre and like to what they watched growing up. But like, I think the reason this works is like embedded in all of this is a really dope original story.
yeah,
Like there's just like a dope story in all of this that impacts like
it's
three different groups of people.
it's like they took the leftovers of every great horror 80s, movie, sci-fi 80s movie, and they took the leftovers and they came out with like this amazing dish. It's like, oh, we're gonna take the scraps of the Thing, and we're gonna take a little bit of Nightmare on Elm Street. We're gonna mix that in with a nice sauce of it, a nice it sauce, and we're gonna fillet that with some strips of ET. It just
Are you saying
worked.
this is the greatest gumbo of all time?
This is the greatest gumbo
saying?
ever made. You know what I'm saying? This is the greatest stew gumbo, ever made. And I think what you said, it creates a great story, original story, but also they know that people love to back great characters. We all love these characters. From jump, we've all loved these kids from the season 1 when the boys were playing Dungeons and Dragons in Mike's basement. We just fell in love with this team. Will disappeared for almost all of season 1, and we still he's part of the team. You know what I mean? Man. We still love Will. Let me just say, this series needs to throw Will a bone.
Poor Will. Poor Will. I hope he finds a boyfriend at the end of this show, man. Like I hope he finds a guy who just loves him the way he is, bow cut and all. Because he deserves it, man. This poor guy. This man has been possessed. He was gone for all of season 1. He was possessed in all of season 2. He lost his friends to their girlfriends all of season 3. And he's just lonely and is afraid to come out all of season 4. Like, damn, man. And still got a crappy haircut and all of it.
Will is the Anderson Cooper of this friend group. Like, they all know. We all know.
We all know, brother. We've known for many years. I kind of knew in season 1, if we want to be honest.
We all know, buddy.
Knew.
And no one cares, man. We still love you. Just come on, Will. Just
like, damn, his brother tried to talk to him. Was like, dude, we love you, right? Yo, get this man, Duffer Brothers. If y'all hear this, get this man a boyfriend, man.
Yeah, get Will a boyfriend.
Man. He don't deserve to be lonely,
or at least fix that haircut.
One of the you got to do one or the other. Ideally, both, but we don't want to be greedy.
But yeah, I think we just love these characters, and every season we love where they've been. We love where they're going. Dustin and Steven, great dynamic. Hell, or Steve. When is it Erica? Yeah. When she gets teamed up with them, that's a great dynamic. It's just like they keep introducing characters, and we all love them. Yeah, and I think they just know it's like, once you have a good foundation and good motivations, we can do anything. They always say, like, let's be real. There's some issues in season 4. There's some big issues, but there's a saying that when the puppet show is great and you're enthralled with the story, you ignore the strings. When you watch the old Muppets, you can see the strings. You can see when Kermit, you can see the strings, the little wire holding his hands. You know what I mean? But we don't care because we're just engrossed in him as a character. I feel like the same thing is with this show. And one, it's well directed. It's fantastically acted. The acting is amazing. And I just think the score, the music, the acting, the editing, the feel, it just they really caught lightning in a bottle, but they keep hitting it every season.
Can I just talk about the acting real quick? And in one person in particular. And that one person is Winona Ryder. And let me tell you why I want to talk about Winona Ryder. She is an interesting actor in the same theme as Keanu Reeves. They're like Keanu Reeves, if you can capture him, he will be the best thing in your movie by not really doing much. But you got to know how to use Keanu Reeves.
Facts.
Lucky for us, a good sample of Hollywood knows exactly how to use Keanu Reeves. And guess what? The Duffer Brothers know how to use Winona Ryder. You got to make her quirky and weird, and you got to give her heart.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you have Winona Ryder killing it. Some of the best acting she's done in her career is in this show.
Dog.
And she's just, you got to know how to use Winona Ryder.
That season 1, when she's trying to talk to Will with the Christmas lights.
Yeah.
Okay, dog, so much poltergeist in that scene.
So much poltergeist.
Caroline, talk to her.
I don't know what hovers over this house, but it was strong enough to punch a hole into this world, take your dog away from you. It keeps Carol Ann very close to it and away from the spectral light. It lies to her.
Doctor Caroline,
creepy lady from Exorcist.
Creepy little lady. Sometimes people don't go into the light.
God, she creeps me out, bro.
We got a poltergeist episode coming up, but like, that's not here or there. But
God,
like,
such a scary movie, man.
That moment where she's the acting in that moment is so amazing because she's scared, but she's got this hope because like her son is talking to her, and oh man, it's just so acting 101. You want to know how to be a good actor? Go watch that scene.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And so the other part of Stranger Things that I love, and I know you love too, is the references of the different like movies that are in. And I think the pop cult will love if we kind of just went through a list of some of the things that we saw in this season, and maybe even some of the other seasons, depending on if we get to it. But Mark, so you may remember this back when we watched season 1, you broke down Stranger Things in a way that like made me further fall in love with the show. I'm going to try to repeat what you said and tell me if I get close to it.
Okay, real quick.
Said,
I don't
yes.
think, I don't know if I came up with the quote. Go ahead. Because I just want to like, I might have saw it somewhere, but go ahead.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you 100% credit of it, and the internet can come after you if that's not the case. You said the dope thing about Stranger Things is that the adults were going through a Carpenter movie, the teens were going through like a John Hughes / slasher film, and the kids were in a Steven Spielberg movie. Did I get it right?
So you're like 80%. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know where I read this, but I did not come up with this, but I saw this quote and it said, Stranger Things is dope because the kids are in a Spielberg movie. Mm-hmm. The teens are in a Wes Craven movie.
Wes Craven, yes.
And the adults are in a Stephen King movie. And then it all comes together at the end. And I was like, yes, that's spot on. That is spot on.
Yes, it is spot on. I went into specific directors, but yes, that is 100% spot on. The further seasons, it kind of looks a little different, but like it doesn't change the fact that like each crew that you're around, they're in a different theme type of scenario and situation.
Yeah.
So here's the things that I saw, and like, you know, feel free to tell me what you saw. But like when we talk about Vecna, I'm seeing two things with Vecna. One is Stephen King, like the obvious one is of course Nightmare on Elm Street. Vecna is Freddy Krueger.
Definitely.
And like they kind of, besides, you know, the dreaming and like all the, and like the hand that straight up looks like the claw of Freddy Krueger, it doesn't, like they really just hammer it in your head by having his dad literally be Freddy Krueger. Like the actor who is Freddy Krueger is Vecna, or whatever his name is, Henry.
Yeah.
It's his dad in the prison cell. Like that's Freddy Krueger. So I was like, damn.
And that's when Stranger Things is like hitting the TV. He's like, you get it? You get it, America? All right, we're going to keep going.
Yes. So obviously there's strong correlation between Nightmare on Elm Street and Stranger Things. And it's been like that since season 1, but like definitely with Vecna. The other thing with Vecna that I saw was Stephen King's It. Because like, you know, by him making the kids float, and like he says like, I'll make you float, like that's just a small thing. It might be a little bit of a stretch,
Georgie, everything floats down here, Georgie. The stupidest kid in a horror movie that ever existed. Good God. I'm gonna talk to a clown in the sewer.
Yeah, that's for another day. We could talk about white kids in
That movie should have
certain
been
certain parts of America.
That movie should have been
What they
30
do.
seconds long, dog. Should be like, nope, and ran back inside.
So those were some of the things I saw with Vecna. I know one of your favorite movies, Mark, is The Thing. And The Thing was all up and down, all of Stranger Things, but they kind of just really like hammered it in when Hopper pulled up that flamethrower.
Yes. I was like, okay, so you're just like, we're in The Thing now. This is The Thing. Okay.
So like, this is where Kurt Russell has a flamethrower. Get it?
They literally could have like cut the footage of Hopper and then inserted the footage of like Kurt Russell, and it was like, oh, is this the same movie? Like, man, where did Hopper get that beard?
And guess what? Loved it.
Loved it.
Loved every second of it.
Loved it. I was gonna say with Vecna, I also got a lot of Hellraiser.
Yeah,
Hellraiser vibes.
I can see that his demeanor and how he like look.
Very, very like his demeanor, very Pinhead.
Yeah, I can see that. So I think this is a little bit of a stretch, but Lucas winning shooting the game winner shot is literally any 80s basketball movie. Anytime there's basketball in an 80s movie, like, I mean, to hammer it on, like if I wanted to pick a specific movie, let's just go with Teen Wolf. But literally you can go with any basketball. If there's a basketball reference in an 80s movie, there's a game winning shot like what we saw Lucas do. So
yeah, no, definitely. And just like that whole high school dynamic of getting in with the cool kids and trying to stay true. The one that really comes to mind for me is Can't Buy Me Love.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Like be cool, but also kind of be true to your friends. And dog, that's why I love this show. They're not afraid to just like throw these references. Another one, not to steer the conversation, but when they go to Dustin's girlfriend's house, I don't know what exactly reference that is, but I'm like, I've seen this before. I've seen a house full of kids doing wacky stuff who are all very different from each other. Like I got a little bit of Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. I got a little bit of like Camp Nowhere, even though it's not a 80s movie, like Camp Nowhere. A little bit of the beginning of Home Alone with all the kids in the house.
And then definitely some Home Alone vibes. Absolutely.
And then they make the girl like basically they make her a carbon copy of
Old Girl from Breakfast Club.
Yes. Like she looks exactly like her.
Exactly like her. Exactly like her. Like, and this is your 80s goth kid.
And I love like I said, in any other show, I feel like America would tear this apart. I just love the balls of this show. Like, yeah, and here's the girl from Breakfast Club. Did we try to make her not look the same? Nah. Like, whatever. We just want her to look like her. That's her.
You got it right. That's what we're going for.
We literally held up a picture when she was doing makeup of the girl from Breakfast Club, and we're like, "Do this," and she showed up to set.
And they're like, "Can you like tell me what my character does? What her vibe is?" Like, no, just watch the Breakfast Club. You see that goth kid over there? That's who you are.
Watch Breakfast Club, and that's your character. And then we'll see you tomorrow.
All right. So another one, again, another movie that has been all up and down, all of Stranger Things, but Evil Dead.
Yes.
So I saw Evil Dead heavy in the trailer when Steve, or was it like, what's his name?
Eddie. Oh, Eddie. Come on, man.
Eddie
Respect
and Dustin.
My boy, Eddie.
I know, man.
Eddie
my fault,
for
Eddie.
Life, dog.
Shout out you, Eddie.
Man, Eddie.
But Eddie and Dustin were like fighting off the demon bats.
Mm-hmm.
That was like straight up. It looked like Sam Raimi directed that episode.
Yeah.
Like it looked straight up Evil Dead.
In season 2, when
Sean Astin,
when he's talking to Will and he's trying to tell him about when he was scared of that. I don't know if he said clown, but he said something about having dreams, and I think he said he's from Maine. So there's this theory that Stranger Things is in the It universe because it takes place in Maine.
It sounded like it. Yeah, when he was describing it.
Yeah. And I'm like, yo, what a great, I love Easter eggs like that, where if we wanted, we could have a end of Split moment where like these two movies are merged in the same universe and we had no idea. So that, you know, it is all over this, like you said, all over this franchise.
It really is.
And just like in season 3, a lot of like USA versus Russia, like I got a lot of Wolverines. Not Wolverines, I'm sorry, Red Dawn.
Avenge me!
Boys! Avenge me! Avenge me!
I forgot all about their dad. Boys, avenge me!
Like I don't care if the movie is called, what's it called? Red Dawn. That's
Dawn,
not what I call that movie. Anytime that movie comes up, oh, that movie is called Avenge Me.
Bruh,
that is what I call that movie.
I forgot all about that part. When they find their dad, he's like, "Oh, boys, you're looking good. Oh, you gotta get out of here, and don't forget, avenge me, boys, avenge me."
Oh God!
What a note
80s.
to go out to your kids. And
Ain't that that's a hard way to go out, yo.
I know it's World War III and America's occupied by a foreign nation, but don't forget to avenge me. I know you're only children, but avenge me, boy.
Like your children.
Oh,
why you shouldn't avenge me? Get help. Go to safety. Why are those your last words to your kids?
Get out of this area right now and go to safety. Fight Russia, boys. If you're not too busy, fight Russia and avenge me.
And kill the people that killed me. That's so specific. Oh man. And
find a secret base and learn how to be soldiers, boys, and avenge me.
Shout out to Patrick Swayze.
A lot of carry in season.
Oh, bro, a lot of carry, especially the roller skate ring.
Dog, the roller skate ring, and even when Max is waiting for Vecna in the dance, the high school dance, like that had a lot of carry vibes. Man, just so
Carrie,
great.
you see a lot of Carrie vibes in general with just how like Carrie and Firestarter with how
Firestarter
11
definitely
her powers.
Bruh, Eleven's whole story in this show is basically Firestarter.
Yeah, man.
It's basically Firestarter.
Which, like, the balls. The balls. So Hopper's entire thing in Russia, what kind of tripped me out about this, because at first I kind of like came with the delusion that the Duffer Brothers just tried to sample 80s movies in this. But when I saw this, I was like, thinking the Steve McQueen movie, The Great Escape. You know, that was like the jail movie.
Yes.
They try to escape out of that the Russian jail, I believe. So it just seemed like exactly like what he was going through. It was like The Great Escape.
No, definitely. It's funny, man. Hopper's whole Russia stay in Russia. I was like, yo, man, I get it. You're trying to make this guy a hero, but this guy is being tortured beyond, like, I don't think Batman would like last this long.
Hey, don't doubt Bruce Wayne, man.
Bruh,
bring somebody else in the conversation. I done seen Bruce Wayne do it. I saw Bruce Wayne go into another. I saw him die, get blasted back in time, and then crawl his way back to his ancestors.
Hey, no lie. Let me
come back.
Let me step back, because this man definitely digged himself out of a grave. I thought it was a little much for us to find. I was like, I get it, man. He's a soldier, he's tough, but I was like, yo, like they're going to town on this dude, and he don't got no shoes on.
Hopper, like, I think you're supposed to look at Hopper and realize, okay, Hopper, you are clearly a badass. Yeah, like we're supposed to look at you and see Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
what's Buddy's name from Magnum PI? Great mustache.
Oh, Tom Selleck?
Tom Selleck. Yeah, we're supposed to look at Hopper and look in the 80s and be like, this is Tom Selleck.
Bruh, you know, okay, so yes on Hopper. And I think what they're doing with Hopper is Hopper really should be a secret agent, but he ended up being a sheriff in Hawkins, right?
Yeah.
But you just made me think of another 80s reference. When she has her last confrontation with Vecna, and she remember the screen goes black and then Vecna's flying back.
Mhm.
Dog, that is exactly the same shot as Alec Rickman falling down in Die Hard when he falls off the building.
Yes.
It looks
Yes.
exactly like that shot.
It does. Oh,
I was like, yo,
wow.
the Duffers, like, y'all don't
Damn,
care.
Die Hard got a shout out.
Y'all don't care. You like
They're like, how do we end this? Oh, well, you remember Alan Rickman in the
You remember Die Hard?
Tamagotchi building?
I really love Die Hard. Let's put it in the movie.
Nakatomi?
Hey,
The Tamagotchi.
The Tamagotchi building.
Nakatomi Plaza. I got one more reference.
Go ahead.
Did you ever watch War Games with Matthew Broderick?
Yes, I did. Yes.
So every time I see Dustin's girlfriend, like,
Yeah.
I just straight up think Hacker and War Games.
Yes.
That's
yes.
the vibes that I get. So that's another one. I think those are all the references I got.
I mean, I know
for all
we're
of
missing
season
a
4.
ton, but it just blows my mind that they just throw all this in their movie but it's so genuine, right? It's not nostalgia because we want to get I'm saying butts in the seats. I mean, we're streaming this. It's nostalgia because we loved it and we cherished the memory, and it shaped how we view film and cinema and television, and that's why we're going back to it, you know?
Yeah, man. I don't know how you'll take this question, but when you watch Stranger Things, who do you think this show is about? It's kind of like my Dragon Ball Z question. Like, of course, we know Dragon Ball Z is about Goku, but like, when you watch the show, who do you think this is about?
Yeah.
Obviously, 11 is the main character of Stranger Things, but when you see Stranger Things and you see the story play out, what do you think Stranger Things is about? I think I've told you what my theory was, and I'll say it to the pop cult, but I'm curious on what your thoughts are.
To go to Dragon Ball Z, it's like, yeah, when you watch it's about Goku, but really it's about Vegeta.
To you, yes.
Man, that's a good question. I'm gonna say, like, low key, this show might be about Will when it's all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
This show might be about Will when
Yes.
it's all said and done, and we get to the end of it because, you know, he was the first to go to the Upside Down. He has this like weird kind of like connection with Vecna and the Mind Flare. That would be my answer, but I never thought about that. But yeah, maybe Will when it's all said and done.
Bruh, I was hoping you would say that because I think Will is just a really strange character in this. Not strange as a person, but like the uniqueness of his role in this is like you can understand 11's role in this, and you can understand how like the D&D crew, like how they play a role in this. But Will has a unique connection to Upside Down that isn't really explained or like doesn't really like correlate to like why he keeps having to deal with the Mind Flayer and Henry. Like it just doesn't explain it. And so like I think it's gonna play out.
Real quick. And bro, I saw something the other day. I saw a TikTok when Will gets taken in season 1. They say if you look at the silhouette, you know how we all thought it was the Demogorgon?
Yeah.
People are like, if you look at the silhouette, it might be Vecna.
I agree. I think it's Vecna.
Because Vecna has psychic powers, and he, when season 1, when Will locks the door, it opens. And so it's like, yo, so what is Will's connection to all this? That if that was Vecna, why come after Will? So like that blew my mind when I saw it. But go ahead. What were you about to say?
Like, why is Will special? Does Will have superpowers and we just don't know it? Why is Will special? So I think Stranger Things is about 11.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see it literally, but like I think Stranger Things is a big old superhero movie. Like I think we're just really playing out the long version of an origin story of a superhero. Like, yes, it has horror themes. Yes, it has mystery themes, but like we're watching somebody who is special, who went through trauma, who lost their powers, who through love and connection with others has something to fight for, regained their powers, and saves the day. And like it is, if you look at any hero arc in any major superhero story, and you take some of the themes that have come from those stories that have lasted throughout time, and you look at Stranger Things, you can see them.
I mean, it's hard to argue with that. And it's funny you say Superman because my biggest fear with this show has always been every season relies on 11 yelling at something with her hand up.
just like a superhero show.
You know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, the Flash just needs to run really fast somewhere.
But I think with, clearly in like season 3 and this season, they found ways around that. And it's like, yeah, like how do we get around just like, because that's the problem with Superman that everyone has is like, he's so strong. Why would he even have a problem? I like the idea of 11 origin story. Kind of like, and this whole thing is an origin story. And post Stranger Things season 5, 11 is it's the late 90s, and she's a superhero in downtown LA. You know what I'm saying? Like that'd be dope. Here's my one issue.
Be running up that road.
Here's
running up that hill. running up that building. I'm gonna see how many times I can get away with referencing that song in this episode.
It's not even an issue, and I hope this show is season 5 learns this lesson. I don't know. For me personally, 11 by herself is not interesting, dog. I'm sorry.
By herself.
When she's alone doing her like I got to find mama and papa and learn where my powers came from. I'm like, oh my God, can you just link back up with the crew? Because her with the crew is great because they have this understanding of what dog. It's so great because and I'm gonna loop it all together. Stranger Things is great because these kids have an understanding of the world and what's happening to them because of their pop culture references. And so that relates to us as an audience. They're like, oh, this is like, you're like Superman, and this is like Dungeons and Dragons. This is like whatever. And so it's great when they can talk to 11 like, oh man, you're just like this and like this and like that. And that's interesting and fun. But when 11's alone and like, hello, 8, it's me, 11. Do you remember Mama? And this is your band of superheroes. And it's just like, oh my God, can you get back to Hawkins? And I'm just sorry, man. All the stuff with like, if I had anything bad to say, the stuff with like 11 and the other kids and Papa, I'm just like, it's not that it doesn't need to be in here. I'm like, you could have made this a lot shorter. And I got you needed that to show us who one was. But I was just like looking at my watch, dog.
Every time, you, brother. But to get that reveal of one at the end,
it was
worth
great. It was great.
I was happy to get that at the end, man.
I just hope that moving forward, we don't, because ever since season 2, it's like we keep separating 11 from the group. I'm like, just like, no, this is the crew. This is the crew. These are the X-Men. And ironically, only one of them has powers, but that's fine. Just keep this crew together, you know?
And, Mark, what you're touching upon is something that I hope Hollywood hears. Because you said it's not interesting when 11's by herself. I would argue neither is Superman. Like, Superman needs something to fight for. He needs people to fight with. And the man who can do everything is not interesting if he's just going around doing everything.
Exactly.
He needs to be put in complex situations with the people he loves to show that he is a complicated person that can't do everything and has hard decisions that he needs to make. That's what makes Superman's great.
Why Justice League Unlimited is such a good series, because it's not just, oh, Superman can fix everything. It's like, should you fix everything? Mm-hmm. And should you use, and all these questions and dynamics. And it's like, yeah, him alone is not entertaining. It's him bouncing off other people is what we love. I'm really excited for season 5, man. So it's funny. At the end of season 3, I said to Esco, shout out to Esco, who's been on the show. I was like, yo, I would love a spinoff series with like Dustin and Erica and Robin and homeboy Steve being like an X-Files kind of Scooby-Doo crew and just traveling America.
Scooby-Doo it out. Yes.
Scooby-Dooing it out all over America. I'm like, yo, that'd be a great spinoff series. I kind of think that's where season 5 might be going. My prediction for season 5 is, and I don't want to touch on the end of this season because I think we'll get into that. But my prediction is like the Upside Down is going to kind of become a known thing. I feel like Hawkins is going to be kind of closed off, like Escape from New York.
Wow.
And it's going to be like the kids trying to like maybe go in there and like the government's like, you can't go in here. There's crazy stuff happening. And the kids are like, no, we got to stop Vecna. This is going to get worse. So like, I feel like Demogorgons and all these things are going to kind of pop up all over America and the world. And I think it's going to be a time skip. And we're going to be,
it's definitely going to be a time skip.
You kind of have to, because you can't do a few hours later and these kids look like they're 35 and it's supposed to be the next day.
Puberty is whooping their ass.
yo Speaking on that, shout out to the special effects crew, because the making 11 look young. That was great. I was like, this looks fantastic. Really good, because God, these kids, Mike looks like he works at GameStop.
Yes. Mike Will looks bigger and stronger than his older brother. He's like, yo, that is not my older brother anymore. I'm your brother now. I'm the big brother now.
Bro, I think the dude who plays Eddie is actually in real life 30 years old.
Hey, you might as well cast them old so they can't look much older than you are.
I also, because the whole basketball team looks like they're 30. Right?
Yeah, the captain of the basketball team looks like a grown man with a mortgage.
I also think, though, that's intentional. I think that's a like 80s, 90s trope where, you know, you watch like I Know What You Did Last Summer, and all those people are clearly 35, but they're supposed to be like 18-year-olds. And I think that was intentional by the Duffer Brothers, like to get these older people to play high schoolers.
Well, shout out to them. That's a good old 80s trope. Because again, our kids that we know are young look like grown adults now. So I think there's going to be a time skip, and I wonder what they're going to do. Are they just going to like fast forward to 3 years? Because like the whole thing about Stranger Things is that it's in the 80s and it's currently 1986. Are you just going to do it in 1989? Or are you just going to say, forget it, we in the 90s, baby? Like, I would
love for this to finish in the 90s. And I think where this series has to go is that 11 becomes a weapon for the government. And God. She's like teaching, and the kids and then we're teaching them how to beat the Upside Down. I feel like this show has to, because here's another thing. We go into season 4 or season 5 with like people mad at the Hellfire Club. Like this town blames what happened on the Hellfire Club, and they know who's in the Hellfire Club. And I feel like these kids have to become heroes somehow. And I would love a way for like Eddie to be recognized as a hero at the end of the series. I need a scene of Dustin talking down the Joint Chiefs of Staff, because he's referencing like D&D's like, this, I'm not going to take this from kids. He's like, excuse me, have you been to the Upside Down? Have you seen that?
I have a different prediction for season 5 besides the time skip, because I think that's actually confirmed. There's going to be a time skip.
Okay.
I think Vecna/Henry is actually going to show up in Hawkins as his regular self. Like, he's not going to look like Freddy Krueger. He's going to look like a normal human. And he's just going to show up and try to like win people over and be like, I'm fine now. Nothing's wrong. Like, I'm okay. And just like slowly sabotage everything. Like, and just slowly cripple the defenses of Hawkins on the inside. And like, folks are just trying to get to him. Like, the kids are the only ones who believe they have to stop him. But like, no one will let him touch him because they think that like Vecna's on their side now, because he's like, this is what you needed. Like, I'm on the other side. I like was getting possessed by the Mind Flayer all these years, but 11 saved me. Thank you, 11. Like, it's because of you. You flung me out of the Upside Down,
this
and
kind of hero. I could see him doing something where he acts like he's a hero, and like Demogorgons are like attacking people in the streets, and he stops them.
Stops them. Yes,
You know,
man.
yeah, I could definitely see that happening. That'd be pretty dope. That'd be pretty sick. Let me ask you something. One thing I noticed when Vecna /Henry, when he first gets to the Upside Down, it does not look like Hawkins, right?
No,
it looks like
doesn't.
it looks like hell.
Yes.
Right. So, like, why do you think the Upside Down now looks like Hawkins?
I don't know. He did a lot of
I just-
exploring until he met the Mind Flayer.
Because even when he first gets there, you know, he notices like a Demogorgon dog or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't look, this is me just like fan theorying out my ass, right? It doesn't look as vicious as they are in the series. It looks like it's just this animal kind of like walking around and just like living. So I'm like, yo, by him, and even the Mind Flayer, when he gets to the Mind Flayer, it's just kind of there. It's just kind of this like entity. And it's like, yo, is the Upside Down just this other place? And it's just, these animals are just animals, but like his influence made it like this evil place.
Maybe. And why is it Hawkins but old?
Yeah.
Right? Like it's Hawkins, but it's Hawkins from like a specific time ago.
It's
so
like,
is he creating the vision of what the Upside Down is? Because it's the last part of Hawkins he remembers.
I don't know. Maybe we'll get this in season 5.
we better. They better tie a bow in this sucker.
How many times did you cry?
Ooh. Just from what, the last episode or
the like
entire season?
Okay, so for me, I did not cry until the last episode, but I cried like 3 times.
Dog, no. So a tear came down the first time when Max was running out. Bro, I was sitting at the edge of the couch just staring at the TV, just singing that song.
So good, man.
Running up, I was like, come on, Max. Come on, Max. I knew damn well she was gonna make it out. But I was just sitting there.
I didn't know. I was like, yo, are they gonna kill Max right here? Like, bro, I had no dude. I was so into it that when it cut to black, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, even
that was such like Mark, that was so good, man. That was so good.
Great episode.
That's why that song is gonna be stuck in people's heads for years. Yeah. That was such a good scene. Goodness gracious. I cried about, I want to say at least 3 times.
Yeah.
At least 3 times that,
for me,
like that last episode.
When Dustin gets to Eddie after his noble sacrifice, after the most metal concert that ever existed.
That was a very metal concert.
Yo, the most metal thing that ever happened. Real quick, do you know why it's called metal?
I don't know why it's called metal.
Bro, this blew my mind when I found this out. It's called metal because it's harder than rock.
Wow. Really?
Bro, isn't that dope? Like that's so
metal.
tight. That's so tight.
That's metal.
But
hey, good job.
Good job. Whoever did that, like good job.
Whoever did that. I love it.
That's
good
pretty
job.
sick. But when Dustin finds Eddie and he's like, I didn't run away this time. I was like, oh my God, dog. I was losing it. He's like, and Dustin's like, no, man, you didn't run away. You know, because like I loved Eddie as a character, man. I had a feeling Eddie wasn't going to make it through this season, but I really wanted him to. Like, I really wanted Eddie to make it, man.
And Eddie did his thing, man. Eddie did his thing.
I think Eddie taps into like my like love for Peter Parker, like this kind of like unsung hero, this person who like does. And then when I cried again, when Dustin is telling Eddie's uncle that he's a hero,
that's one of the times that got me. That's one of the times that got me.
Come on, Stranger Things, like just let me out of this. We're almost done. We have like 5 minutes left. Just let me go home. You know.
And they're like, nope, just brought you back in. So that was one of the times that got me. The other time that got me, obviously, was when Max was like, I can't see. I can't.
Yes, that was.
I was just like, no. And then Lucas and then Elle was just sitting there and she couldn't do anything about it. Oh my
Um,
goodness, that messed me up, man.
Such good acting when because talk about stress when Max flies up. I'm like, okay, we've been here. Okay, Elle's gonna show up, but then Max's limbs start like I was like, oh no, it's over, everybody. It's
like, no. Yeah, I thought it was a wrap. I thought once the limbs start breaking, I was like, it's over. Max is gone.
And then when Lucas has her, she's like, I can't see and I can't feel anything and I don't want to die. I was like, oh God, you're not gonna die. Like,
I was like, okay, so she's just blind and all her limbs are broken, but she's okay. She's okay.
It's still good. It's still good.
I was clearly Lucas at the time. Just was like, oh, you're fine. You're fine. We'll get through this.
That scene got me when Lucas screams for Erica. He's like, Erica, get help. And I was like, oh man. I was like, yo, Umar Johnson would even approve of this.
That's hey, not really.
Not really. He'd still be upset, but
he's like, why are you in this room? why are you doing this right now, brother?
You're the only black boy in this town, and you here in this room with these white kids.
And you just won the championship. They didn't write you in the paper. They're busy talking about
you get a scholarship. Did you get a scholarship for that?
You were a freshman and you won that game-winning shot. Nobody cared about you. Yo, Lucas redemption. Like Lucas beat the brakes off of.
Well,
he got the brakes beat off of him, but at the end, he knocked him out.
I thought Lucas was going to die. Like,
okay, I thought he was going to get beat. He beat him up, man. Like, you got to give him props. This guy's a freshman, and the other guy was a senior.
It's so funny because I actually laughed at that moment when is it Jason? Is that his name?
I don't remember his name.
I forget his name. When he walks into that room and Lucas is like, I know what this looks like.
he's like, calm down.
Like, yo,
what a terrible position to be in.
I laugh so hard because it's like, yo, we think you're in a demonic satanic cult, and it's like I walk in a room and this girl's eyes are rolling up in the back of her head.
This white girl's eyes. Bro, this white girl's eyes are rolling in.
He's like, I know what this looks like, man, but please, like,
just listen to me. Don't just listen to me.
Oh man, if you were ever in the the right place at the wrong time.
God, poor guy. Oh, poor guy.
So good, man. So good.
And so the other scene was when they all had a reunion. Like when everybody met back at the cabin, and she finally and Hopper and Elle had a chance to see each other. That messed me up, man.
Hopper's return.
That messed me up.
And then she's like, I kept the door open 3 inches for you. And
that was it.
You go back, you're like, yo, she did. This whole, every time she closed the door, she kept it open 3 inches. And I was like, man.
And she kept trying to say why? Because I never gave up. Because I knew that. I was like, no. I was like, you got me. Damn, that girl can act, man. Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
She can act, yo.
She can act. Shout out to all these kids. They're like, they kill it when they need to, man. They bring their A game when they really need them to. They caught Vecna monologuing, man. Like, this man could have won 20 minutes into the last episode. He's like, sit down, Elle. Listen, this was my plan all along. and it was me in season 1 and 2 and 3 and that time with Papa. I'm like, okay, man, like you won. Let's wrap this up.
To his defense, he doesn't really talk to a lot of people. In his defense, he doesn't really get a chance to have a conversation.
He's like, please.
He was reveling in it.
I have a diagram to show you.
This is my 3-point presentation on how I'm going to take over Hawkins.
Oh man, great.
What do you think about Papa in this, like the revelation of Papa in this season? And like, I guess to me, the theme of all of this was not for Elle, but for Henry, for one. Like his fascination of not just 11, but of one, and still trying to like have them because he's not special. Like,
dude,
he sees his special through those kids.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. The Papa stuff is like my least favorite stuff in this series.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, because I feel like we've seen that so much, like Firestarter, we like X-Men, we've seen like the government using someone or people with powers for, and so like it's kind of my least favorite part. But that whole kind of notion that we thought this was all about Elle, but Papa is like, it's all about Henry. Because even when Elle breaks him through the upside down, and he's just looking at that wall, and you could just tell, like, you think it's about Elle, and he's like, wow, you're so powerful and you did this, but it's like, get me in there and get me to Henry, because like this, I need to know what's happening. And I thought that was kind of cool. But I don't know, man. Like I told you, the Papa stuff for me, I felt it was like it for me, it halted the momentum. And because I can't stand, like in anime, I can't stand when someone gets a power up and then it does nothing. Like I felt like even though it only happened like once, I felt like there was so much like, I'm gonna get out of here, Papa, and when I do, oh, you're gonna pay. And it's like, I'm gonna get out of here. Oh no, I was tranquilized. I'm like, yo, just get out. Like, just get out of there.
There's a point where I was like, all right, you should leave now.
You should just get out of there.
Like, come on, what's the problem? Can we just like, is the next studio not ready? like, come on, you can get out now. Like, why are we still here? Yes.
So that's my only issue. But I did think the whole kind of like I said, Papa more enthralled with like Henry and the Upside Down than Elle was kind of cool reveal. And then I do love how like Elle, when Papa's like, you know, I've always loved you, and she kind of like drops his hands like, nah, like you're a piece of garbage, you know. So I did like that, you know.
Yeah.
One little fun thing, dog, that I thought was really, really funny, and the new character Argyle. I kind of like when they go to the
Cheech and Chong rolled up in one.
Like, yeah. I like when they go to the other pizza place, the that he works at. Yeah. And it's basically a carbon copy of him working there, like he's a Nurse Joy kind of. You know? Like, I really thought that was pretty funny. It was like at all these places across America, they're like different Argyles working there.
Hispanic potheads who make amazing pizza.
And two other things that I really, really liked, and it didn't make any sense, but I don't care. When Hopper picks up that sword and fights the Demogorgon, I was like, yes. Yes.
One, he didn't have to. Two, Buddy with the flamethrower was still there. Don't tell me there was no more gasoline. There was more gasoline. Three, everybody had a machine gun. Yeah. There was nothing but AK-47. The country was made out of AK-47. You can't tell me there wasn't anything there.
Bro, I really like, and it kind of brought it back home to Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
like this is real life D&D, and it just what a badass moment for Hopper. Yo, and then shout out to like the ending of this series, because usually we start apart and everyone comes together, but they stayed apart. You know, all the crews stayed apart
the whole season.
But it was like this like unified kind of like synchronized attack on Vecna that I thought was just like really dope.
And like the adults had that much confidence in the kids. It's like, yo, if we stay in Russia and go back into this prison, we're doing that just to give them a chance.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to do something.
Yeah.
Just to give them a shot. I was like, wow, y'all got a lot of, like, I mean, I guess they have 3 seasons worth of evidence to show that the kids are usually good at doing something.
Yeah. And you know what? It's like, that's another kind of like 80s horror movie thing where like the kids know what's going on. They know how to kill the monster, and the grown-ups were like, get out of here, you kids. This is a grown-up, you know, and the grown-ups have seen, like, no, they know what they're doing. They know how to defeat these things, so we should trust them. And it's kind of hard to pull that off because, like, why should children be in another dimension? Like, what the hell? Like, no, like, no, bro.
Yeah.
The fact that Winona Ryder lets Will do anything on his own, bro, like,
like that. Well, she's a white mom. Because if Will, let me tell y'all something about Black parents. Look, I know I'm stereotyping, but let me tell y'all something about Black parents. Let's just talk about my mother. If I was abducted to another dimension,
I think I know where you're going. Go ahead.
If I was abducted to another dimension for an unnecessary amount of time, there's either two things that are going to happen. Option one, once I come back from the dimension, I am no longer her child because I was away with spirits. She already mourned me. She's like, you belong to them now. Your new home is in the upside down. You are not allowed in this house anymore. Mm-hmm. That's option one.
Yep.
Option two, she accepts me for who I am, and we move to Ghana.
Yo. Yeah.
And we will never set foot in America again.
I'm gonna give you a third option.
Yes.
Will comes back home and gets his ass whooped for being gone for all that time.
She beats the living mess out of Will
for being gone all that time.
For the fear and anguish that she had trying to find him. Yes.
And then lastly, man, the last minutes and 30 seconds of this show, it made me feel like a kid in the movie theater. Like when that orchestral mix version of the Stranger Things theme kicks in at the end and everyone's looking at the snow, like I was blown away, man. I was blown away and just so hyped for the next season. I was like, oh wow, this is Empire. You guys did your Empire Strike Back moment.
Empire Strikes Back.
You know, and it's like it leaves us like the kids lost, but you could tell by Elle's eyes at the end, she's down for the fight. She's like, oh no, it ain't going down like that. She's mad about Max. She's mad about what happened to Hawkins. And so that like last 30 seconds, I was just like, wow, it might be low key, might be one of my favorite moments in the series in general. Just like that music just hits on a different level, and everyone looking at the snow and the kids and the group knowing what this means is just it was beautiful.
I don't think I've ever been hyped for the next season of Stranger Things. I'm pleasantly happy when it starts, but I'm never like anxiously waiting, chomping at the bit for the next season. But season 5, I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait.
I don't know where they're going to take this. And I feel like they set themselves up in such a way that season 5 is going to go down as like one of the greatest TV things of all time, or everyone's going to hate it.
Shout out to Game of Thrones.
There's not going to be any middle ground, you know?
And you know what? I have a lot of faith that they're going to do it right, because literally all they do is take the dope parts of everything we've loved in the 90s and 80s and just say, here you go, repackaged. So I have a lot of faith that they know what they're doing and they'll be okay. But
two things I hope for season 2. I want Nancy to just be like that crazy guy from the Police Academy movies who's a gun nut.
Sensible weapon. I use a factory accurized Daytonix 45 Scoremaster. It's got the extended barrel for the silencer, short hammer fall, and I load with 230 grain full patch rounds. It's primarily for stopping power.
I just want Nancy to just own all the guns and have guns on her all the time.
She handled that sawed-off shotgun pleasantly well.
and like she's like just knowing how to do it and what to do. She's like, oh yeah, I gotta cut this off. I'm like, is this legal?
She's like, it's a felony.
It's a felony, but you know, Vecna. And then I tell you what, man, I want a moment in season 5 where Dustin and Lucas are I don't know what they're doing. They're fighting something. They're about to kill something, and they look at each other and they go like, for Eddie, for Max, and then they go to town. Like, I'm hoping for that, man. Eddie, my boy, Eddie. Oh God.
You know Dustin's gonna have to fight a zombie Eddie next season, right? You know that's gonna happen.
Oh no, it's not. It breaks my heart.
You know that's gonna happen, right?
Let me ask you this, man. Who of the main cast is not making it out of season 5?
I'll say this. Nancy's not gonna have to make a decision on who her boyfriend's gonna be.
Okay.
Vecna's gonna make that decision for her.
Okay.
I'll tell you that.
Okay.
I feel confident that one of them is gonna go. And I feel I would not be surprised if 11 is done. Like,
yeah,
I can see her dying after this.
If 11 doesn't die at the end, this sucks because the show needs to throw this guy all the bones. Will is dying at the end of this thing. Like,
yo, two enter, one shall fall.
2 men enter, 1 man leaves. 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 2
enter, 1 shall fall.
It's gonna be like the that South Park episode with Mint Berry Crunch, and like Kenny thinks it's about him. It's like, it's about you all the time, Mint Berry Crunch, and Will's Mint Berry Crunch, and he never knew, and he's gonna sacrifice himself.
Yes, man.
They're not gonna kill Hopper after like thinking he died. They're not gonna kill Hopper. Max has already been through the ringer. I could see Max. Either Max doesn't wake up or Max comes back.
Max running up that road,
cerebral
running up that hill,
back to consciousness,
running up that building. Yes.
I don't see Mike. I don't know, man. I feel like Mike is so like milquetoast. He's just like, he's Mike.
If they kill Mike, it's just so 11 can go crazy.
Yeah,
go Super Saiyan.
Yeah. But I don't see Mike dying. I don't see Lucas dying. Man, if they really want to gut punch America, they kill Dustin.
Yeah, brother, they can't kill Dustin. They can't kill Dustin, dog. They can't do that. No, I won't even. We shouldn't even entertain that. I don't even want the right. If a writer might be a member of the pop cult, I don't even want them to entertain the idea of killing Dustin. Look, give him Lucas. I love Lucas. Kill Lucas.
The only
Don't
brother.
Kill Dustin.
The only brother.
The only brother. I throw the brother away. I got Erica. I throw the brother away. Don't you dare. Don't you dare kill Dustin. That brother is the heart of this show.
Yeah,
he is the soul of this show.
I mean,
kill Dustin.
If I'm in the writer's room and I want to go out on a memorable note and I want to just ruin America, I kill off Dustin. Yeah. You know what I mean?
that will. Is he everyone's favorite character?
I think he is, man.
Who doesn't like Dustin?
Criminals.
Yeah, so that's how you do it. You got to kill him.
People like Shannon don't like Dustin. Nah, if there's a spinoff series, Erica should be the focus.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and she'd kill it.
Yeah,
she'd kill it.
I would
Dustin, man.
I would love an X-Files series focused around Erica taking place in this universe. It'd be great.
So good.
It'd be so good.
Yo, so one last thing, Mark, before we wrap it up. 11 brought somebody back to life.
Well, kind of.
Let's talk about that. Max was, no longer running up that road. no longer running up that hill. It's like she flatlined and like she was gone for an entire minute, which broke the barrier between Upside Down and Hawkins.
Yeah.
And then 11 said, and then like held Max. And next thing you know, Max is in the hospital.
Yeah.
But when she went into the Upside Down or went into the dreamscape, whatever dimension, she couldn't find Max.
Yeah.
So like that's why Max is in a coma. We're assumed to believe that Max is still in a coma because Max is conscious, hasn't found her body. So what did you take from that? Like what were your thoughts from looking at that?
This takes me into season 5. It's like, so is Vecna, is the gate open? Right? Is like, because Max technically died, is the gate open, or is it like he has to finish the job. And then why was she able to even pull Max out of whatever that was? And we don't know where Max is, but she's not in that purgatory that everyone else's like soul was in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, so what is the upside down? Is it biological? Not biological. I guess that's the right word. Is it a like ecological, biological place, or is it a spiritual place? You know what I mean? Is it a real place, or is it ghost spirit realm? And I really don't know. I don't know what that means, because Max is clearly not dead, but she ain't alive. I tell you what, I honestly, I don't know about you, man. And we talked about the streaming wars. I don't know what's keeping me at Netflix. Well, let me be real. Besides this, it's the One Piece dubs. But but besides that, I don't know what's keeping me at Netflix besides Stranger Things. Like, I have Netflix and I skim through it, but like, I love Stranger Things. I prep myself for it every year. I love how it's become this summer horror series, but I don't know what keeps me at Netflix once this is over.
Yeah, I don't know if I will have Netflix after this. Like, I don't know, but I mean, what do I spend my time on? HBO Max and Disney Plus. Like, my time, energy, and talent is in those three areas. So, but Netflix had my full attention this past month. Like, it just had my full attention. So,
and if capitalism has taught us anything, no matter how this series ends, this will not be the last Stranger Things thing we will experience.
No, Erica's getting her own show.
Someone's getting a spinoff series. Someone's getting their own show, a spinoff movie, comic books, you know.
Matthew Modine may have his own show. Yeah. Like, there might be a Papa prequel movie. Like, this is going to be a thing. And even though the show is going to end, one of these characters is going to have their own TV show after it.
Dustin show. I'm down, dog. I'm down for the Dustin in a van solving mysteries.
and let's, just no shade to Dustin, but like, he probably needs it. I don't know what all he's gonna do after Stranger Things. Like, there's a niche. I don't know, brother.
Are you saying that when it comes to the cast after Stranger Things? Okay, I feel you. Let's be real. Nancy, she gonna be all right.
Nancy's gonna be fine.
Nancy's gonna be all right.
Steve's gonna be fine.
He's gonna be fine. Millie Bobby Brown
is already good. She already has another successful franchise in Enola Holmes. I think they're gonna make 2 more movies. She just signed up for a Russo brothers movie. She's good. Drake likes her. She's good. She's good.
She's gonna be fine. I can see Lucas popping up and stuff. I think Lucas is actually doing some voice acting.
Lucas has already been in 2 movies.
Yeah, he was in
Concrete Cowboys.
Yes,
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
He also was in the New Edition movie.
Okay.
The made for TV movie. Lucas is gonna be fine. Because he is an American-born Black actor and he can act. Like, we're gonna find stuff for him.
Yeah.
Denzel's gonna take care of him. Yeah. Like, we're gonna be fine with Lucas. And I don't know. I think Mike, I don't think his passion is acting. I think he's gonna be a rocker somewhere.
He's gonna be like a Machine Gun Kelly or something.
Yeah, and then in like about 15 years, he's gonna come back and win an Oscar. Max is gonna be good. Max is gonna be fine. Max can act. She's gonna be fine.
Oh yeah, Max is gonna be right behind Millie.
Yes,
he's gonna be right behind her. The Robin, I mean, Uma Thurman's your mom. You're already okay. You're already fine.
Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke. You're good.
Yeah, you're good. I don't even.
You were already good.
You're here just because you were bored.
I'm curious on what Steve's gonna do. Honestly, like he can go action drama route, or he can go comedic timing Ryan Reynolds route.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, man. Dustin has a a series on Netflix. It's like a Scare Tactics. It's all right. It's fine.
Good for him.
Oh, come on, man.
Sounds on brand. Sounds on brand.
Let me ask you this. What is Will doing after this?
Will,
Because that boy can act.
he can act really well.
That boy can act.
That boy can act. Oh man, what is he gonna do? Man, I could see him doing Broadway. I could see him singing songs.
I can see him being a Bond villain.
Oh, he'd probably be a really good villain. He might go the villain route. He might do the Daniel Radcliffe villain route.
I can see him being a villain in something, you know? No,
Yeah.
the sky's the limit. So basically, the sky's the limit for everyone but Dustin.
But Dustin, brother, I don't know what to tell you. You know Erica's a star. She's
Yeah.
gonna be fine.
She's
She's
gonna
gonna
show
run
up in
Stranger
something.
Things in a
Yeah.
couple years.
She's going to be in something, but
It's gonna be Dustin.
nah, man.
I don't-
Dustin, I feel like Dustin will surprise us in something, man.
Okay, who do you say of the kids is gonna be the biggest star in about 10 years?
But okay. Let's take Millie Bobby out of it because it's her already.
So we're talking 2032. They're all like what? They're all like 16 right now. No, 18, 19. So they're gonna be, let's say, in their 30s. They're all gonna be in their 30s in 10 years.
Here's the thing. I think it's between Lucas, Nancy, and Will. One of them is going to be like a star. One of them is going to get in something, some type of biopic, and it's going to blow everyone away. And one of them is going to be a star.
I'm gonna take Nancy out of it because Nancy can act. I can give
Mhm.
you that, but I don't see her. I don't see her blowing anything away.
Mhm.
Will, I see Will. If you get that man, what is Will's name? Like something Shemp. What is this man's name?
Let's give him
Noah.
some respect.
Noah, yeah.
Because the show
let's give
don't respect
some-
Will. Let's give him
Noah
some respect.
Noah Schnapp. Noah Schnapp. Like, I can see if he is in a dope biopic and blows it out the water, which he absolutely could. Like, that's his career. He's gonna be set for life if he like kills a movie. And I think Lucas is gonna be the biggest star out of all of them.
Bruh, if I could go back in time and recast, I'd make the kid playing Will be Mike.
You know, he was originally supposed to be Mike.
No, I did not really.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, secretly this show's about you, so we need the better actor to like.
No, Finn blew him out the water.
Oh,
Like
okay.
Finn Woodlock, the guy who plays
Yeah.
Mike, blew him out the water.
Mm.
Like, you got to remember when, like, a couple years ago, Finn,
He was doing it.
he was killing it. Yeah.
It and this, like he was doing it, man. But
And then puberty whooped his ass.
oh, here's where Dustin's gonna have a dope podcast.
Very on brand.
Dustin's gonna have a sick podcast and it's gonna be super popular.
So you're saying that he's gonna be the Joey Fatone of this,
Oh, come
of this
on.
Stranger Things group?
Come on. yeah.
No, that's what you said, man.
No, I
I didn't want to give him that.
No, I think he's gonna have a dope podcast, and I think he's gonna have a career kind of like homeboy that was in Workaholics.
I know exactly what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, yes.
And I feel like he's gonna be in a nice kind of like horrible bosses type comedy, and he's gonna like his career is gonna take off.
Look, hey, I'm a Dustin fan, man.
Yeah, man,
I'm a big fan. He's my favorite character in Stranger Things. I'm rooting for you. Look, hey, what's your name, brother? Gatton Marizeo? I'm cheering for you, man.
We're rooting for you.
Don't
man.
die. Don't die. But Caleb McLaughlin, you're going to be the biggest star. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. We have a new episode every month. You can find us on all social media at Pop Cult Parent, POPCULTPARENT. You can visit us at www.popcultparent.com. Email us at popcultparent@gmail.com. Don't forget to rate us, review, and subscribe. And as always, join the cult.
Peace.